National Driving School Association of South Africa has embarked on a 3-day protest, calling for the scrapping of the online booking system. The association is accusing the Transport Department and Road Traffic Management Corporation of not taking them seriously. For more on this protest, I'm joined by RTMC spokesperson Simon Zwane. Good afternoon to you and thank you so much for joining us.
Good afternoon, ma'am, and thank you for the opportunity.
Now let's start off with your reaction to the driving schools actually staging a 3-day protest and wanting this online system of application to be scrapped.
Well, it is rather unfortunate that they've decided on that course of action. The online service was initiated to ensure that there's open and equal access to services offered by the driving license centers and to also eliminate corruption. This is a service to all citizens of the country eventually, but we're talking about Gauteng specifically here, so that they can do the bookings in a manner that ensures equal access to all of them to the service. And I'm puzzled and baffled really, but where do driving schools get involved in this matter? Because individuals have to make the bookings themselves for to have tests conducted, be it learner license test or driving license test. Others want to use the service to book to renew their license cards and all other services that are provided at licensing centers. There's no provision in law or anywhere else for driving schools to be making bookings on behalf of people. Well, this is what drives that kind of conduct is the one that drives corruption, where there are people who act as middlemen to book for people and all of that, and hog the space, creating less chances for other people to have opportunity to access the service. The service is about transparency, access, and elimination of corruption.
Well, Mr. Zwane, for those motorists who perhaps were studying towards getting their learner's driver's licenses or have been practicing through driving schools to get there or get ready for their driver's license test, and maybe they aren't even aware that they should be booking on their own, what is the website they should go to and how exactly does this online booking system work for that individual? Is it user-friendly?
It is user-friendly. We've tried over a year to change it where people have been saying they have concerns here and there to attend to those. And they can access it at online.natis.gov.za. And there are always messages that are posted on it, enabling people to be able to navigate through the platform.
And one of the issues that has been raised recently is that issue of a bit of a backlog that's been created with this online system, especially since it seems applications or bookings rather can only be made once a week online.
Yes, it's true. There has been some backlog. Our backlog was brought about by the total lockdown. You remember that there was a time there was a total lockdown because of the outbreak of COVID. As a result of that, people who needed to renew their licenses were not able to. And the minister announced extensions of those. Now, in Gauteng, the MEC announced that to be able to deal with that backlog that resulted from lockdown, 70% of available capacity on any day would be used to deal with the backlog. So to deal with particularly backlog on renewal of driving license cards. So that leaves us with 30% for other services, and that is what is being done. So that is being done to ensure that when we reach the deadline of August, where Minister said extended the extension to, we don't have backlogs anymore, and we'll be able then to offer the service equally to all citizens.
Continue the discussion on the issue of the driving schools actually staging a protest trying to get a new system, a booking system that's been implemented by the Department of Transport scrapped. We are speaking to the RTMC spokesperson, Mr. Simon Zwane. Mr. Zwane, thank you so much for staying with us. Now, just on the issue of this online booking system, according to your department, there actually is some good coming from the system, especially when it comes to the fight against COVID-19.
Yes, the system is, because it allows for booking, so it has, during this period of COVID, also allowed us to manage the number of people who go to the DLTC, particularly to avoid crowding of people in those spaces, and therefore, so that our DLTCs do not become super spreaders of COVID. So it has helped a great deal in that regard as well.
Now, you've mentioned also that this online system is actually also aimed at reducing the overall level of corruption and, the illegal sale of licenses to people. Do you also think that once the backlog has been dealt with effectively and you're now up to date, that there'll be more days added to the schedule to allow people to be able to make bookings perhaps Monday to Friday?
Yes, we are in discussions with the Department of Transport in Gauteng and the municipalities to make more slots available during the week. We are aware that the MEC for Transport in Gauteng is also looking into opening more driving license centers so that there can be greater access to these facilities from members of the public. And when that happens, that will also help to alleviate the pressure that there may be.
Now, just going back to an earlier point you mentioned, just regarding communication, the National Driving Schools Association of South Africa says that they presented a memorandum, on the 15th of February, also demanding the scrapping of the system, and have not yet received a response. Earlier on, you mentioned that the law doesn't even require there to be a negotiation or communication with the driving schools. Has the department at least let them know that they will not be responding at all?
Well, I don't know where that memorandum went. They say they gave it they delivered it in the Department of Transport for the minister. We are the RTMC. We cannot instruct the minister to do one thing or another. It also baffles us that they come to us and say, tell the minister to respond to our memorandum. The matter has gone to the minister and they need a response from the minister. They must go back to the office of the minister to get that response. I mean, really, you don't go to a third party to say, tell that person to respond to me. You go to that person that you were communicating with and say, where is my response?
Well, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, Mr. Simon Zwane, RTMC spokesperson.